for you guys. I'm not going to be on the live stream much longer, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes to get this on out the way so you can start your day. Remember, hit the subscription button, the notification bell, share this live with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Let's get this YouTube channel lit in the YouTube algorithm, because you guys know of me. The YouTube algorithm know of me, but it just doesn't know me. Okay, you dig what I'm saying? So, breaking news. This just came down the news wire after the fire of Shannon Sharpe settling his lawsuit with the OF model. They settled out of court. Now it's estimated that he may settle. Shannon Sharpe probably settled for $20 million to make all this go away. Originally, Shannon Sharpe and his legal team was negotiating with this model for $10 million. The model and Tony Bugsby denied that request. So they went right back into the lab. But by that time, everything went out. Text messages went out. They was going to, but they didn't, was going to do a snippet of a corn tape that Shannon Sharpe was filming with this model. There was a legend that was going to put that out. Shannon Sharpe immediately called this a shakedown. He went on social media, said it was a shakedown, trying to destroy his good name, trying to get money off of him, this, that, and the third. All this was just lies, and more lies. And Shannon Sharpe tried to stay on ESPN, kept staying, doing what he was doing with Nightcap and Club Shay Shay. Then the sponsorships left Shannon Sharpe on Nightcap, as well as Club Shay Shay. And then ESPN probably talked to Shannon and said, hey, look, you may want to just take some time off until this goes away. You know, by that time, it was a little too late. Shannon should have thought about his sponsors, should have thought about his good name, should have thought about his reputation, should have thought about his job at ESPN. And, you know, that's a lot to lose to only try to get this girl to settle for $10 million. All right. So, you know, Shannon, after a couple of months, this thing was about to set and go to court. Shannon Sharpe, his legal team, with this model and Tony Bugsby reached an agreement. You know, a lot of people are estimating it's $20 million. Even the model announced on social media that she's no longer doing OnlyFans. She done retired from OnlyFans. What's up? How you living, bro? How you living? Who is that? What's up? How y'all doing? Share the live. Make sure you're subscribed. So, she retired from OnlyFans. She released a statement on Instagram. You know, everyone knows Instagram is the thirst trap, you know, for anyone that's a fool enough to, because, you know, fool and his money is going to be separated. So she went to Instagram, released a statement, and then everyone thought that was it, hearing about this girl. Shannon Sharpe, all his legal troubles are behind him now. Now Shannon Sharpe can pursue trying to at first get that $100+ million deal that he was going to sign as far as podcasting go. I think that $100 million deal is up in smoke. It's not coming back. But Shannon Sharpe had the opportunity to recoup that. He also had the opportunity to see if ESPN is willing to accept him back, since all this is behind him. Both of those are beyond his control, but he can try. And see if he can get his sponsors back on Nightcap, as well as Club Shay Shay, and as well as getting some great guests, okay? Because Club Shay Shay doesn't run efficient unless he has a great guest, an influencer, you know, like all he has to do is just do another Cat Williams interview, not interview Cat Williams again, but have an interview similar to Cat Williams that when he interviewed him on Club Shay Shay, and he's back popping again on social media. He's back popping on YouTube and everything, and everybody's gonna, you know, people will talk about it, but then eventually it'll go away, because guess what? We'll be talking about something else. Somebody else will be making the same mistake or a mistake worse than that. Okay, so All that is behind him. Now, the Sun is got an article. Wowsies. Okay. So the Sun is saying, the newspaper, the Sun, published an article saying that uh, Shannon Sharpe is going into another lawsuit with another girl, and the representative of that girl is suing Shannon Sharpe. She said that Shannon Sharpe SA her. She's also saying Shannon Sharpe raped her. And everyone should know this girl. Well, we never seen the girl. We just know of her name when Shannon Sharpe was moaning her name on Instagram Live when he allegedly accidentally hit the Instagram Live button, even though you have to go through so many pages just to get to the Instagram Live. But that's neither here nor there. We know of this girl's name, and her name is Michelle. Everyone remember that name, Michelle, when he was moaning her name on Instagram Live? Oh, Michelle, Michelle. Oh, my God, Michelle. Michelle, Michelle, me more. Okay, so Michelle is now suing Shannon Sharpe, taking him to court, and the judge is telling Shannon Sharpe and the model, do not destroy that corn tape because they're going to use that for for this next lawsuit. And a lot of people knew that this was going to happen to Shannon Sharpe, even myself, and this is the same copy and paste tactic that happened to Diddy. And I'm not saying it was right to do this to Diddy. I'm not saying that it's wrong to do this to Diddy. But what I am saying is when you settle a lawsuit with a woman accusing you of SA or rape or being a control freak, all this stuff. And when you're suing this person and you settle, now all the other women that you had these provocative relationships with, these questionable relationships with, these women that you performed a lot of adult acts on, and you push your kinkiness to these women. Now all these women saying, hold up, if that OnlyFans model can get allegedly 20 mil, Michelle's going to probably get some money as well. How come I can't be a part of that? Okay. So Michelle is suing. We all knew that the floodgates were going to come out. It's kind of funny, and I just thought about this yesterday. It's kind of funny when Shannon Sharpe was on Undisputed and he was in his ish bag. He used to ish the heck out of Deshaun Watson. Anyone remember Deshaun Watson? He used to be the quarterback for the Browns, and he ished all on Deshaun Watson and talking about how Deshaun Watson, ruined his reputation, ruined his good name, he cared more about being kiki in the massage rooms than actually in the coach's office learning the playbook and things of that nature. Remember how Shannon Sharpe was throwing stones at the glass house of Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson came out of his pocket a lot of lawsuits he had to settle. And I remember Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless when they was nice to one another. They used to, there was two things that they would talk about religiously: LeBron James, the Dallas Cowboys, and Deshaun Watson. Well, that's three things. They would talk about Deshaun Watson day and night, night and day. Okay. Just like two little gossiping girls gossiping about Deshaun Watson. Oh, he shouldn't have done this. Oh, he shouldn't have done that. He should have been more worried and concerned about his being a professional athlete, his reputation, and all that stuff. Remember how Shannon Sharpe was throwing stones at the glass house of Deshaun Watson. Fast forward to today, Deshaun Watson can start throwing some stones at Shannon Sharpe's glass house because Shannon Sharpe's empire is about to crumble. Because if there's smoke, there's fire. If he had a weird relationship with this OnlyFans model, and he had another weird relationship with Michelle, best believe he has done this a time or two with other females. And I keep trying to, worry about your bag. When you're that successful as a man, when you're trying to build an empire, okay, the one thing you shouldn't have in front of you are distractions. Okay, quit worrying about what how to satisfy your little head and satisfy the big head on your neck. Okay, and Shannon Sharpe just he just pissed away his reputation. His reputation is beyond tarnish. Okay, his reputation was kind of tarnished when he was let go of CBS Sports, because allegedly some woman, in an elevator, he did something to a woman in the elevator. The stories are confusing and twisted. I'm not even gonna go through the story. Anyway, Shannon Sharpe lost his job at CBS. We'll just say it's just horseplay with a woman. All right, we'll just go that far. And at that time, Shannon Sharpe was just floating around. People, and at that time, Shannon Sharpe he was in his bag. He was very talented. He was very skillful. He knew his information. Anybody would have. Anybody would have signed Shannon Sharpe, but Shannon Sharpe had that stigma about the incident in the elevator. He was floating around. He was doing Twitch. That's how bad it gotten for Shannon Sharpe. People seem to forget Shannon Sharpe was on Twitch talking about sports. Okay, that's how bad it got for Shannon Sharpe. Yeah, he made a couple appearances on NFL Network, made a couple appearances on ESPN, made a couple appearances here, made a couple appearances there, but nobody wanted him long term because he was radioactive. The only one that validated Shannon Sharpe was years later when Skip Bayless wanted Shannon Sharpe to start his new show, Undisputed. And at that time, the old honchos of Fox Sports 1, they didn't want to touch Shannon Sharpe with a 10-foot pole. They said, Shannon Sharpe? You mean the same Shannon Sharpe that got into an incident in an elevator with a female? No, he's a little radioactive. Some people will call it blackballing, but sometimes you make your own mistakes. Sometimes there's a reason why people don't want to F with you. All right. So if Skip Bayless didn't do him that solid, Shannon Sharpe would still be floating around. Okay. And when he went to Undisputed with Shannon Sharpe, man, they just blew up immediately. Okay. It elevated Shannon Sharpe's name. It elevated Shannon. People seem to forgot about the incident at CBS Sports and focusing on what Shannon Sharpe was saying on Undisputed. Shannon Sharpe started to become more and more popular, become more and more of a bigger draw, a bigger star. And he was a bigger star on Undisputed than Skip Bayless. Then, him and Skip Bayless had a little falling out. Fox Sports 1 let him go. We all assume that they just did it because of Skip Bayless. That was the new regime that just got, I assume there was more of a contract issue. Having two guys maxed out does not help Fox Sports 1. Maxing out Skip Bayless, you already maxed out on Skip Bayless, and now you're maxing out on Shannon Sharpe on one show. That doesn't work well for Fox Sports 1, particularly when at that time they were trying to compete with ESPN. And I told you guys there was no competition for ESPN. Even when Undisputed was at its brightest, they still couldn't touch ESPN. None of the programs over there at ESPN. They were still trailing behind First Take. First Take was still getting the numbers because, like I said in the past, ESPN is in more households, in more demographics than Fox Sports 1. It was a numbers game. It wasn't about who had the brightest star. It was just simply a numbers game. Who cares if Shannon Sharpe was a bright star at Fox Sports 1? If he's not in enough households, no one would know. Okay, so that's neither here nor there. So they let go of Shannon Sharpe. I thought it was because of money. Come to find out, when he was being sued by the OF model, come to find out, Shannon Sharpe got let go at Fox Sports 1, ironically, because of the same stuff he was doing at CBS Sports. Now, they're calling it horseplay with another female that worked at Fox Sports 1, but I'm pretty sure it was much more than a little horseplay, all right? So they labeled it as horseplay. They had to let him go, and Shannon Sharpe walked from Fox Sports 1. Uh, Stephen A. Smith threw out a life preserver, brought him over there to ESPN. They even gotten more numbers, even bigger ratings. Uh, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe, that duo, pretty much took the air out of the room of Undisputed. Remember, they started uh, the new day of Undisputed. They had uh, Keyshawn Johnson, Michael Irvin, Skip Bayless moved to moderator. They had other football heads over there. It was just too many people talking at the same time. All right. The thing that got you to watch Undisputed, you just wanted to hear Skip Bayless's wacky takes. That new era of Undisputed, it was less Skip Bayless and more of all this other stuff. It didn't even last a full calendar year, and they decided not to renew Skip Bayless' contract, and that was the end of Undisputed. And they replaced Undisputed with the faculty, with Ocho. That didn't even make a full calendar year. That show has been scrapped as well. And now Fox Sports 1 is trying to figure it out, okay? Now they're getting hurt, all right? But that's neither here nor there. Back to Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has a history with this type of behavior towards women, okay? And this is like on the eve of him saying some questionable things on Nightcap. Particularly a lot of black women had issues with Shannon Sharpe, talking about he doesn't date in his race. He likes to date outside his race. Shannon Sharpe made a quote. I forgot what the quote was, but that alarmed a lot of black women. So now you got a lot of black women looking at you side-eyed. Now, when you try to go to the Snow Bunnies are using and abusing you, taking your money, all right? Look, Shannon Sharpe, I could, if it was a younger person going through all this stuff, someone that was younger than Shannon Sharpe, that is probably not as knowledgeable as Shannon Sharpe, particularly how Shannon Sharpe would ridicule athletes that find themselves in these same predicaments. Shannon Sharpe would give them some advice of what he heard from his mama when he was back, when he was back as a kid, or his grandmama or whatever. Shannon Sharpe would, just ridicule the guy. You would think out of everyone that falls for this trick, you wouldn't think Shannon Sharpe would fall for it. Now, let's get into some serious stuff about Shannon Sharpe, all right? I'm pretty sure with the model and now Michelle and possibly others, all right, I'm pretty sure they had an understanding of consent as far as Shannon Sharpe wanting to be kinky with these women, because I'm pretty sure Shannon Sharpe told these women ahead of time that's how he likes it. Okay, Shannon Sharpe likes it a little rough. Shannon Sharpe likes to play race roles and stuff like that. Shannon Sharpe is a talker in bed, all right? And that's one thing. And, even though a lot of women will probably scratch their heads, you want to say this, you want to do that, that's fine, okay? But I'm pretty sure Shannon Sharpe was too rough with a lot of these women. And a lot of these women are not used to being that rough in the bedroom, okay? And Shannon Sharpe should know this. Shannon Sharpe should know better, but just in case some guys out there that don't know, just because a woman consent with you as far as making love, and midway through it, she says stop, but you continue to do it, you do know that's grape, okay? That's grape. I don't care how you want to qualify it. I'm pretty sure a lot of men are going to say, well, she consented. We went in bed. She should have known what was coming, and this, that, and the third. Look, you can have consent before it starts, in the middle, or at the end. The minute she says stop, it's over with, okay? It's over with. It's a wrap. It's a rizap. I know you don't want to hear it. I know that, your urges are at an all-time high. Your climax is at an all-time high. and you're ready to get busy. You're not hearing none of that stuff. Sometimes the ego gets the best of all of us. But even though your pride's going to be hurt, I already had my pride hurt and didn't get an opportunity to finish. I'd rather have that on my jacket than someone that's gonna, well, bump that. We're here. I'm going to end it. Look, once a woman says no, it's a wrap, fellas. It's a wrap. Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. And I feel like in a lot of these incidents with Shannon Sharpe, he didn't like to hear the word no, or he thought the word no was, just a girl just saying no. All right, because maybe maybe his package is too big for that mailbox. Okay, so yeah, that's it on Shannon Sharpe. I'm gonna talk to some people in the comment section. Let's see. It's funny. Jay, is that you? Donated 45 USD. I do not see it, but if you did, thank you. Yo, what time is it over there? Jackson said that. It's almost 5 o'clock. Drama on I think her name's Drama. She said hi back. I think I said hi to you earlier. No man. He said hi. I already said hi to him. So yeah, I didn't answer to everyone's question. Someone was trying to send a message, but it's held under review. I don't know what that's about. That's probably something that shouldn't be said anyway. But yeah, that's it on this live. Like I said, I wasn't gonna stay on here much longer, and I overstayed what I said I was going to stay. Okay, so that's all I got on Shannon Sharpe. I look, at the end of the day, Shannon Sharpe's got a lot of explaining to do, and if he think that the model and Michelle are the only two women that's going to come forward, he's got another thing coming. He's going to have plenty of women. He's going to have strippers. He's going to have other, people that he out, just regular women. A lot of women are going to come forward, and the attorney who's representing Michelle, no one knows the attorney. I'm pretty sure if I Google, I can find out. But wouldn't it be funny if Tony Bugsby was representing her as well? And if Tony Bugsby is representing Michelle, he already done represented the OnlyFans girl. I guarantee you there's like 4 other girls that Tony Bugsby is also representing that's going to put lawsuits on Shannon Sharpe as well. It's a shakedown, like Shannon Sharpe said. It is a shakedown, but, Shannon Sharpe, you caused a lot of these problems on yourself, okay? You should have been very careful. If you like to do things like that, I just don't know in these times. Even a woman that says she's okay with it, she may say 5 or 6 years from now that she wasn't okay with it. So in these times, man, you got to be real careful. I don't know what to tell you. I have no idea what to tell you. Like I said in the previous live, you're 60 years old. You should be settling down. You should get married. If you want to marry multiple wives, change religions. Okay? Live someplace else where you're allowed to marry multiple wives. Okay? I don't know what to tell you, Shannon. I have no idea what to tell you. Or calm your urges. Okay? Or put your credit card into a lot of these OF. You got some experience with this girl on OF. I'm pretty sure there's other girls that you can subscribe to their plan, and you can watch all you want to watch. And I'm not going to go further into detail what you're going to do after you finish watching them, but that's up to you. But Shannon Sharpe, he likes to film himself in these acts. And if he filmed himself with the OnlyFans model, best believe he filmed himself with other women. And he tried to film himself with Michelle. Shannon Sharpe is an old freak that hasn't figured it out yet. Okay. Uh, if anything, guys, I'm telling you, if watching this Diddy thing, guys, y'all going to have to be careful. Okay. I don't know if getting a woman to sign an NDA is good enough anymore. Okay. Because they're going to figure out some other way to get you. All right. So that's on Shannon Sharpe. That's his problem. That's not my problem. I'm pretty sure he's got people in his circle that's going to try to figure out a strategy plan. If I was him, I would hurry up and negotiate a settlement with Michelle. I don't know if it's going to be 20 million. Maybe Michelle can get a mil from him, a million from him, or 100K from him. Folks, Shannon Sharpe isn't living like he used to live, or what you thought he was living. Because you're gonna have to face facts and face reality. The money that he saved up was probably when he was popping, and he probably half of that money is gone towards this model. Plus, he has his responsibilities. Plus, he's signing on other people to do podcasts. He was trying to build a media empire for himself, and he signed a lot of people to do podcasts under his platform. I wonder how that dynamic is going to change. It wouldn't surprise me. Like, he signed the Baddies podcast. That's Ocho's ex girlfriend. That's her podcast. He recently signed her. It would not surprise me none. A year from now, we hear that Shannon Sharpe had to drop her because Shannon Sharpe he doesn't have the money like he once had. Okay. He just ain't got it. I mean, he has money, he's not broke, but the money that he was betting on, the 100+ million that he was going to get just doing podcasts, and then he already signed a multi-year contract with ESPN. Plus, he's making money on the side. Plus, he's got sponsors and endorsers and things of that nature. A lot of that money is going, a lot of those endorsers are gone. A lot of those sponsors are gone. ESPN is going to let go of Shannon Sharpe. That $100+ million deal that he was about to sign, it's gone. Can he negotiate with those people? Probably. Is it going to be 100 million? Probably not. Okay. But I know definitely ESPN can't continue to protect him because this is not his first time. This is his second time, even with the Michelle thing. But hey, it is what it is. Shannon Sharpe, he's a hustler. He works hard. I'm pretty sure Shannon Sharpe is going to have to rehabilitate himself, rebuild his brand. And all it just takes is just that one special interview, but that's one in a million. That's one in a lifetime, But someone like Shannon Sharpe, we're going to have to wait and see, is he going to bounce back? Okay. But guys, I'm up out of here, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for coming into the live. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for sharing this with your friends, family, as well as your followers. People that's watching the re-air of this, do the same. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the notification bell, share it with your friends, family, as well as your followers. And yeah, that's all I got, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces, deuces, deuces.